He didn't need a crown to become the boss. He earned it with guitar, a gravel voice, and stories that could break your heart or make you believe in it again. Bruce Springsteen didn't just sing about America. He became the sound of it. But how did a scrappy kid from New Jersey become one of the most iconic storytellers in rock history? From sold-out arenas to quiet recordings in his farmhouse, Bruce Springsteen's journey is more than just a rise to fame. It's a saga of grit, heartache, rebellion, and redemption. This is a story of the working man who gave working people a voice, of the poet who saw beauty in rusted towns and run-down cars. This is Bruce Springsteen, raw, real, and born to run. Bruce Frederick Joseph Springsteen was born on September 23, 1949, in Long Branch, New Jersey, and raised in the working-class town of Freehold. His father, Doug, took on whatever jobs he could find: bus driver, prison guard, factory worker, and often came home defeated by the world. His mother, Adele, was the steady heart of the family, working as a legal secretary to keep them afloat. Bruce was a quiet kid, sensitive and fiercely independent. He didn't fit into the rigid school system and found his escape in music. When he saw Elvis Presley on the Ed Sullivan Show, it lit a fire in him. He picked up a guitar and found his calling. By his teenage years, he was already performing with local bands, including the Castiles Steel Mill and Dr. Zoom and the Sonic Boom. These early experiences were the crucible where he forged his musical identity. Springsteen's music was shaped by his Catholic upbringing, his complicated relationship with his father, and the blue-collar reality of his hometown. He wasn't chasing fame, he was chasing expression, catharsis, truth. These raw, early influences would ripple through every chord he played and every lyric he wrote. He spent countless hours writing, practicing, refining his voice and stage presence. He once said, "I learned more from a 3-minute record than I ever learned in school." That belief shaped his artistry. For Bruce, music wasn't an escape from life, it was a way to understand it. His neighborhood, his streets, even the factories he passed on his way to school, these became the characters in his stories. His lyrics painted vivid pictures of struggle and perseverance. That sense of authenticity rooted him deeply in the hearts of listeners long before stardom arrived. In 1972, Bruce Springsteen got his first big break. A friend passed along a demo tape to John Hammond, the legendary Columbia record scout who had discovered Bob Dylan. Hammond was blown away. One audition later, Springsteen was signed. His debut album, Greetings from Asbury Park, New Jersey, came out in 1973. It was a poetic, explosive mix of youthful energy and raw storytelling. Critics were impressed, but sales were modest. His second album, The Wild, the Innocent, and the E Street Shuffle, pushed boundaries further, blending rock, soul, and jazz. Again, it was praised, but the big breakthrough still hadn't arrived. Then came Born to Run in 1975. Everything changed. It took over a year to record. Springsteen obsessed over every detail. The result? An album that sounded like a thunderstorm of emotion, an epic film for the ears. With songs like Thunder Road, Backstreets, Jungleland, and the iconic title track, Springsteen captured the restless spirit of American youth like no one else. Born to Run launched him into the stratosphere. He landed on the covers of Time and Newsweek in the same week. Suddenly, everyone knew who Bruce Springsteen was. The nickname The Boss, originally a practical joke from his early band days, now seemed prophetic. He led, he inspired, he delivered night after night, song after song. Springsteen's concerts became legendary, not just performances, but marathons. 3, sometimes 4 hours long. Sweaty, soulful, electric. He gave everything he had to crowd, every time. He wasn't just playing for fans. He was preaching to a congregation of believers. His band, the E Street Band, became more than backing musicians. They were a brotherhood, an engine of passion and power that fueled Springsteen's fire. With Clarence Clemens on sax, Max Weinberg on drums, and others adding soul and swagger, it was magic. Success didn't bring ease. After Born to Run, Bruce was caught in a bitter legal battle with his former manager. It kept him out of the studio for years. But that turmoil fueled one of his most profound works, Darkness on the Edge of Town, 1978. Gone was the romantic idealism of escape. In its place, realism, defiance, resilience. Badlands racing in the street, and the promised land spoke to grind, the disillusionment, and the strength to keep going. It was about staying, not running. The River, 1980, followed a sprawling double album that swung between joy and heartbreak. It held one of his first mainstream hits, Hungry Heart, but also deep, tragic tales like the title track. The record was a mirror showing the highs and lows of life with unflinching honesty. Then came Nebraska in 1982, a complete 180, recorded alone on a 4-track in his home. It was stark, quiet, and devastating. No E Street Band, no bombast, just stories of killers, of brothers torn apart, of dreams long gone. It wasn't just music. It was American Gothic literature set to melody. Springsteen was no longer just a rock star. He was becoming a chronicler of American life, with all its beauty and brutality. Yet he embraced the shadows. He leaned into discomfort. He dared to create albums that wouldn't fit the radio, wouldn't please executives, but would resonate with people who felt left behind. His storytelling matured deeper, darker, more powerful. Born in the U.S.A., dropped in 1984, and Bruce Springsteen became a global phenomenon. The album was a juggernaut. It produced 7 top 10 singles. Its cover, Springsteen in front of an American flag, became iconic, but many misunderstood the message. The title track, often played at political rallies, was not a patriotic anthem. It was a scathing commentary on the treatment of Vietnam War veterans. It was rage wrapped in rock. Springsteen was everywhere: MTV, Rolling Stone, sold-out stadiums. But he never lost his grounding. He was still the guy who wrote about factories, small towns, and broken dreams. Songs like Glory Days, My Hometown, and I'm on Fire painted vivid pictures of American life in all its shades. He wasn't pretending to be one of us. He was one of us. Bruce also used his platform to advocate for the marginalized, to stand up against injustice. He wasn't afraid to get political, not for show, but because his songs were always about the people first. He was a voice for the voiceless. The 90s brought change. Springsteen disbanded the E Street Band in 1989, exploring a more personal direction. Albums like Human Touch and Lucky Town, 1992, reflected love, loss, and identity. Critics were divided, but Bruce remained committed to growth. In 1994, he won an Academy Award for Streets of Philadelphia, a haunting track written for the film Philadelphia. It was a song of compassion, of societal reckoning. And as long as the highways are open, the factories keep humming, and people keep dreaming, his music will echo in the hearts of those who still believe. He wasn't just born to run. He was born to lead the way. He was born to remind us that even in the darkest corners of the American story, there is still light. And somewhere, just over the next hill, the promised land is waiting.